Hello everyone. So in this class we can try to understand how to detect the spam mails, spam calls or spam messages. These kind of things. How can companies like a Truecaller or some Google, how they will detect whether the mail will be spam or not. So these kind of mail automatically will send to the spam section. If it is not a spam, then it will send to your inbox, right? So if it is spam, then they will trigger us. So this is a spam call. Be aware about those things and how this network provider companies like Airtel or Jio will suggest these kind of messages will be a spam call or not. So let's try to understand what is the algorithm behind the spam detection. So usually they will use a machine learning algorithm in order to detect the spam calls or spam messages against spam mails. Okay, so for that they will, in the beginning they will going to collect a huge number of data. So based on that they will going to analyze the data. It's not about just analyzing and data cleaning, many things they will going to do. First step will be a data collection. Okay, so they will going to collect the data, then they will going to clean the data, and then they will pass the data into machine learning algorithm. Then this algorithm will going to predict that this message will be a spam message, this call will be a spam call, like that. Then it will trigger us. So let's jump into some practical how these things will be working. Okay, so I'm working on some dummy data set here. Okay, so let's work on some practical. I'm using a Google Colab to work on this one. First, I will just connect this to my Colab. Connecting, I'm using just a minute. It will take some little minutes. So till that, I will upload the dummy data from my local device. So it is just a dummy data for learning purpose. So it will be in the form of some CSV format. Okay. So yes, now I have connected the server. So Google Colab I'm using for that. So they will provide you a free of this much RAMs and storage. So it will easily get the output and quickly we can deploy that models also here test for testing purpose. Yes, for that, in order to build our machine learning model, we need some libraries. Okay, so those libraries I'm going to import now. So import pandas as a PD. This one will be for data reading. So whatever the data I have here, in order to read those data, I'm using this library, that is pandas. Okay, then I'm going to build some machine learning model. For that I will use a Scikit-learn library. Okay, Scikit-learn dot preprocessing. So preprocessing import label encoder, and yeah, from train test plate and ensemble. This is the classification problem. Classification problem means like yes or no, these kind of things we will going to find it out. Okay, then I just want to check that score. For that I will just go with the f beta score. Accuracy is also there, so I'll just use a f beta score only. Then I will be using some converter. So here I will let you know why I'm using this one particular things in this thing. So feature selection and import TF-IDF we have. Sorry, feature selection I wrote, feature extraction I have to mention. Feature extraction text import TX. Yeah. Okay, so these are the libraries which I required to detect the spam messages. Okay, so after this I'm going to import the dummy data. Why I'm going to import this dummy data? I need to train my model. For that I have to provide some set of data. This is the input. If the input coming like this, then it will be an output. You have to say this as an output. Like that I have to train my model. That is the reason. Okay, so I'm just mention that data is equal to pd dot read CSV I'll mention. Then this is the data. I have to copy the path, and then I have to mention some Unicode encoding. Encoding is equal to ISO. This is the encoder we have to use for this data. So then I'm going to import the data. So yeah, this is the data set, looks like this. Okay, so I have this much dummy data. This is the input and this is the output. These are some unwanted data, so I can drop this data. Okay, so in the new data, I'll just mention some new data, or in the data only I can drop, or I will mention data dot drop. These kind of things I'm going to mention. Then the data will be getting like this. I have a two features now. This is the input and this is the output. Ham means this is the normal message. Spam means this is a spam message. These kind of things we will going to detect it. Okay, so it's just like we are training our machine learning model. So what it means, so it's just like you are training to your kid. Kids don't know the colors, and they don't know, initially they don't know anything, right? So for example, you want to say that you will show some color, and means you will say that this is a red color. If again you will show the same color and say this is again a red color, if kid will see same color again, then it will able to identify that color will be a red. Or if you show some other color like a blue or orange, then repeatedly you are saying, showing some color and saying some particular name, right? So in the same way, machine learning also, uh, if it is getting same kind of messages again and again, then it will be checking that this is a spam or not spam, like that. So if this kind of message input you are going to provide, and also you are in the beginning, before it has to say, for example, in the kid also again, right? So you showing some color orange again, multiple times you are showing the orange color. So then your kid will think that this is the orange color. Next time if you show the same color to the kid, then kid will say that this is the orange color. So same way, similar to in machine learning also, we are training our machine learning that with this kind of message you are getting, it is a ham message. Okay, and if these kind of messages you are getting related to these messages, then it will going to detect it as a spam messages. Okay, this is how we are training our machine learning model, just like a kid. It is just like a kid only. So later it will going to learn each and everything. But here we have input and output, sorry, input and the output, both we have in a non-numeric, means non-zeros we have. So we have to convert these into zeros. How can we convert that? For this one, I'll use a label encoder. Okay, this library I'm going to use it. Okay, so LBL something that you can provide the name, then I have to import that one, label encoder, and these things I have to mention, fit transformer. So I'm just converting that into zeros and ones. See here, you can see zeros and ones, it will be get converted. We are just using this library, label encoder. Okay, so after this, I want to convert this one also, like a zeros and one with a lot. Here we have a lot of words, right? So that's why I will use TF-IDF vectorizer here. Okay, so I will just mention TF is equal to, okay, it was showing TF-IDF vector. Okay, now the X data will be looks like this. Okay, I have to convert this into two array. Okay, then you can see X, all the things will be in the zeros and one format. Now my machine learning model is able to identify these messages, able to read these messages, then it will going to predict the output. Okay, so let's train my model. So I'll just training my model. I am using this algorithm, random forest. Okay. So we have a train test split. So we can do skip also in this time. I will skip this thing. Or okay, no problem. I can do that once. Train and test X. We have to preserve some data for training purpose and testing purpose. Okay, I will going to do this one. Now I can random. I'm going to import the machine learning model. Okay, so here I'm just training my model. Fit will be there. No, there I'm going to train my model. Fit X train, Y train. This is the input and this is the output. I'm saying here that like, so I'm showing the kid, this is the orange color and this is the output. The visibility will be orange, right? So I'm saying that that is the output. Visibility will be a input. So you are showing some color, that is the input, and you are saying to your kid this is an orange color, that is the output, right? In the same way here we are providing this data set and saying that this is the ham messages and the spam messages, like that we are providing a list to our model. Okay, so using this we will going to train our model, then it will going to predict the things. Okay, I'll going to predict that thing, random dot predict X test. So wait for a minute. So my model will get trained. Yeah, my model is ready now. So I can predict that. So my model is saying that first will be, wait a minute, I will show you why test. So here you can see first what it was saying 0. Same only it was saying, right? So it means my model will be predicting properly. How can I get to know? Using some F beta score will be there. Here you can see. Using this, I can see how much accurate my model was. So F beta score, then I can going to predict. Okay. Y test, and this is the actual data I'm passing, this is the predicted data I'm passing. Okay, so my model is able to predict 89%. So it means my model almost predicting in 100 data set, it was predicting 89% was correctly. It means almost you can trust my model, machine learning model, it can do such kind of tasks. Okay, this is how we will be predicting a spam call, or we will machine learning algorithm will detect the spam calls or spam mails or spam messages. Okay, so after this, how this model they will going to use it for a real time. So once my model is ready and with satisfied with the scores, then we will going to use this model for a real time. So here instead of test, we will going to provide the actual messages, what kind of messages you are receiving or what kind of calls you are receiving. Those kind of data we are going to put it here, then my model will say the things output. So for example, I will use this one only, free entry into a weekly company to, like these kind of messages I will paste it here. Instead of text test, I'll going to paste this here. Okay, then my model will say this is a spam message. In the output it will going to put it as a one means a spam messages. Okay, this is how the machine learning algorithm will be working. This is how they will implement like a Truecallers or Google mail. They will going to adapt these methods to detect the spam messages and the spam calls. Okay, I hope you learn the things. Thank you.
Hey, don't forget to download our app for access to free courses and interactive quizzes. Stay connected with us on social media for updates and free content. See you next time. Happy learning.